All right, so what are we here doing today? We've got a 2008 Nissan Pathfinder that belongs to my dad. Has difficulty seeing out the back. So we're going to add a Whistler backup camera, and we're going to give it a review and tell you how easy it is to install or if it's going to be a pain. So let's get in here, and we got a couple things we're going to talk about before we get into that. All right, this is my dad, Grumps. If you've never been to the channel before, he's been on here. He's a 50-year tech. I'm a 30-year tech. And you bought this vehicle how long ago?
Yeah, about 19 months.
A couple years, we'll say then. And what has been one of your complaints the whole time you've owned this vehicle?
Difficult to see out when you're backing up.
Okay. Yeah, he was telling me that here recently, since in those 19 months, he has rented a car to go on a few trips. And of course, anything that was made after, we looked it up, May the 1st, 2018, is mandated to have a backup camera. And you said you found it to be quite useful. So
Yeah, backing up in particular makes it a lot nicer.
we went and looked up another statistic on backup accidents. You spend 1% of your time in reverse in driving of the vehicle, and it accounts for, do you remember how many?
25%.
25% of all accidents are backing. So there's kind of a major disproportionate amount of accident to actual operation of the vehicle. You're only 1% of the time, but it's 25% of the accidents. So, you want to do anything you can to mitigate that. So we made a few notes. That's what we're going off of here. And one of the other things you said, and it's just a fact of life, how old you getting to be?
76, 77.
Fixing to be 77. He's in a month, he'll be 77. So, so as anything in life, he's still doing pretty good. He's still upright here, but not quite as sharp as he used to be. And he, you admit that, right?
Yeah,
So
that's absolute.
So he does anything now, it's kind of in slow motion, just to prevent himself from getting in a situation that would cause you a problem, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't make no fast moves. Not at, not at my age.
Yeah, and stay off ladder, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, he came to
Talk somebody into going on the ladder.
Yeah, and getting on the roof. That one's for me too. And this is just what we have done for years. He started it with me. I did it with my sons, and now I see my sons doing it with his kids. We're always working on something. We're always moving something around in the yard. What we've always done is move the kids inside the vehicle with us before the wheels ever move on a vehicle. I've watched him when my kids were around. He wouldn't move the vehicle until I said I had them, and I physically had them, and he was going to make sure that they were okay.
And that was back when I was in 40 and 50 years old.
Right.
I still want to know where they were.
Yeah, because that, as a grandparent, I can't imagine, and it has happened, I can't imagine the grief that would come from that if something had happened and I'd injured, or you know what the other possibility is to one of my grandchildren. So we make sure we know where our kids are and have a good handle on them. And adding this backup camera is just another added feature for you're in a busy parking lot somewhere, being able to see somebody that might be stepping out behind you that you may have missed, being able to see grandkids, being able to see your grandkids have parked a bicycle back behind your vehicle. We were thinking back to our FedEx days. He's a FedEx retiree. I'm FedEx, might as well say retiree. And one of the main things that they used to drive in our heads as far as driving safety was what?
Get out and look. If you didn't know what was back there, but get out and look. And also back into a parking space first.
Mm-hmm.
Back in first. You gotta pull into a parking space. Don't pull in back in.
Correct. But the goal, GOAL, it was your goal, was plastered all over the building. They had big signs, and it would say, get out and look. And before you would throw the vehicle in reverse, That was the first thing that's what you should do, is get out and look if you're not sure what was back there. They had routines for our drivers to walk around there, make a loop around their vehicle before they got to the driver's seat so that they could see what was behind their vehicle. So, 1% of the actual drive time, 25% of the accidents. So I get it. Now, what brand of camera have we got? Let's grab the box. So what brand of camera do we have here?
Whistler.
And you just basically just kind of looked at the reviews, one that had the greatest reviews, not a sponsor, ordered it from walmart.com, had it delivered here. Just kind of spin the roulette wheel and hope you get something that works. We have been playing with it with the vehicle. We do already kind of have it started, hooked up to verify that it works. But we have kind of come into a problem with the mounting on it, and we're going to get into that here in the video. And it's mostly to do with this vehicle. The problems that we're going to have will block the part of the tag, can't do that, and it will prevent operation of the tailgate. Yeah, that's not optimal, can't do that if you can't open the back of the vehicle. So, but I think we have a way around that for this particular vehicle, and we're going to show that.
The a couple of the reasons I bought this, it had good reviews, and it had solar charging, and it's wireless. And all that appears to be working because we temporarily made some tests to make sure before we got too far gone. Anyway, that was some of the reasoning.
All right, so part of the problem is that when the tag in place and you go to put the camera on, it won't go quite high enough to mount. And this, underneath here, you have to be able to put your hands to open this tailgate. So we said, all right, well, what if we flip it over? So you can take and reverse the camera on the bracket up here. We said we could do that, and you can still slip your hand under to open the tailgate, but it partially obscures
the
decal so that they know that you have a current tag. Anything you do in Florida to obscure a tag, you're looking to get pulled over. So that was not an option. So what did we come up with? We think we can mount it to the tag itself right here. We're going to try that. And we're going to use an unconventional method that should work just fine. All right, so what we came up with, since there are no holes in this tailgate to bolt this, some tag mounts, you actually have 4 mount holes to mount a tag. This one does not, but we got to looking at it, and I was like, well, what can we use? So, these, and I don't know if you know what these are. These are cooler mounts for an auxiliary transmission cooler or some kind of extra fan that mounts to your radiator. There's a mounting kit. They're $11.99 or $12, something like that, at O'Reilly's. And they're flat on this end. You run it through the tag is what our plan is. And we're actually going to mount it to the bottom of the tag. You come with 4 of these, so if you have to get a new tag, you have another set that you can replace if you get a new tag. And it's got that little button slides up on there. It goes on there the other way. We're not going to actually do it just yet, but
I know. I was just thinking if we went there, it would line the shoulder, may center it in that slot.
That might be an idea. I don't know. I think because of the way they're made, let's look at them. That would work. We'll take a look at that. It has a cone. I see what he's saying, and it helps center that hole up right there. So if that works, then that's what we'll do. But I think we have a method to mount it. And on this side, to keep the tag from flopping and flexing, I have some good 3M double-sided tape that we're going to put right there, and it will actually kind of hold this to the vehicle to stabilize it. So All right, we're going to get to put this Rube Goldberg machine together. All right, well, the idea that we had worked, but we had to make a modification to it because we didn't know something. Let's see, it's fun. I can show it. On these zip ties that we use, not aware that the zip tie ratchet doesn't go all the way to the base. So it would get almost tight enough, and then it would get loose again. So it was going to let the camera move. So bring it on in here, Gramps. Let me see if we can make sure the camera's getting it. We took a couple of nuts and made some spacers so that these, you could ratchet them down tight. Take the tag and you can do that. It's adhered to the tag. So we're fixing to take the tag and we're going to mount it back to the vehicle and turn it around. We got all the way around. Here we go. We got some self-stick tape to kind of keep it from flopping so it'll stay to the bottom on the vehicle. So you should be good there. All right, let's mount this baby up.
Which screwdriver is that?
I did. I have another one in my pocket. My Leatherman MacGyver. The camera doesn't really weigh a whole lot, so it should not be a problem. I'm sure he will keep an eye on it. Yeah, that's tight. Make sure those are pushed to touching the vehicle.
If it don't fall off between here and leaving here.
I'm going to Florida. Then it ought to be all right. Let's see if we're going to have to adjust the camera angle and see how that looks. All right, we've got it mounted. So next thing I'll do is to work on the inside pieces.
All right, we got this part mounted to the tag. It's good and solid. I don't think it's going to fall off between here and home. If it does, we'll just keep driving. Anyway, the camera is adjustable as far as getting up here close to the backup camera or the back of the vehicle. Screw there, loosen it, and twist it down till you get it where you want it to be. And it's got a grid that you can turn on and off, and you use the grid as a guide.
Yeah, we'll get inside and look at that.
We had to put the monitor in, but it mounts with a suction cup, and it needs a good flat surface. They even give you a little piece of plastic to adhere to the dash, but this is pretty curvy and not real smooth. And I was looking around, and then I saw down here, there's a space right here that was smooth and slick, so I adhered or put the suction cup there, and it's stuck, and I can pull on it, and I can pull it off, but it's
we may need to wet that.
Yeah, it probably would help. Anyway, that's just part of videoing, is show the real thing. But it'll be fine there. And the way you can set the time that it's comes on. When you get into the car, you have to push this button to turn it on, and it'll light up. And you can set that camera so that it stays on, that monitor stays on from anywhere from 30 seconds up to 2 minutes. Then it goes off, and if it does, then you have to push the button again. So that has to be plugged into power all the time. And I believe it's going to work out, and we'll do a little review on it down the road there and see how it does. And if it's a good product, I'll tell you. If it's not, I'll tell you.
Yeah, the ease of installation was not as easy as they made out. There's a couple hurdles we had to get over, but if you're a DIYer, it's not that difficult to figure out what we needed to do. And as far as mounting, we had to kind of rethink how we were going to mount it. No, it's not optimal down there by the shifter, but if you think about it, that's where your hand's going to be when you go to put it in reverse. So you can turn it on before you start backing up. And what was one of the things we talked about with the backup monitor a lot of people make a mistake of?
I give up. What was that?
Sitting there staring at it.
Yeah. Instead of looking at your mirrors, you should use your mirrors, all three mirrors, one's on the doors and the one inside the vehicle, along with that as an aid. This is a backup aid. And if you keep looking at your mirrors and all the mirrors and the backup monitor, you should stay out of trouble backing up. As long as you don't go like a banshee backing up. Like my grandson who goes, who's still young enough, but he's got to go fast all the time. I used to do that, but not so much.
We need to adjust it.
Adjust it. Yeah, I hadn't got it adjusted exactly, but I can see back there fine. No problem. Okay, side mirrors look good.
All right, so camera worked perfectly right out of the box. No problem. We had followed the instructions. It tells you to pre-charge this unit when you get it out. So we did that before we came out here to work on it. And now he can see what's behind him without having to worry too much. And one of the things that the camera didn't do when we first turned it on is she didn't have the parking grids. And we couldn't figure out how to get that to come on. So we did a little research and found that if you press and hold the button on the top, the one that turns blue when it comes on, press and hold and don't let it go until the parking grids come on the screen. Boom, no problem. What do we got next? We got some rust repair to do, don't we?
Yes.
So we're going to do a comparison between two different products on see which one works better in the Florida sun to prevent and maintain the paint so that it doesn't rust through on his roof. So while we're getting ready to do that, why don't you go out and watch another video? It's going to be coming on the screen right now.